So this example is about random sampling. So let's have a look at it. You've got a motorbike repair guy, has 37 jobs last month. And they're classified by brand: Kawasaki, Yamaha and Suzuki. Now, I know there's more brands out there, but that'll do for the question, and we're just going K, Y and S as a symbol for them. So here's the 37 jobs. So essentially what you've got here is the population. Okay, and we're going to sample from this population. And we're going to do by essentially drawing numbers out of a hat, or names out of a hat. But keep in mind, the whole point of doing this is that we're trying to get it to be as good as stratified sampling. So these three brands, that's actually our subgroups. Okay, so we would really love if this ended up being just as good as a stratified sample. And so let's have a go. Okay, so first of all, before we do anything with getting the sample, we want to know what's going on with the population, because we want to compare the breakdown of the sample with the breakdown of the population. Okay, so what fraction of the jobs? That means all of them. Okay, that's all the jobs. In other words, this whole table here. What fraction are Kawasaki, Yamaha and Suzuki? Now again, by looking at fraction, we're talking decimals here. Okay, you need to get it to decimals so that we can compare later. Righto, so we've got 3 decimals to work out. So Kawasaki, well, we know first of all everything's going to be over 37 because there's 37 in the population. Okay, literally all you do is go and count. So take your time doing this. Don't rush this bit, because if you get the count wrong, everything else is going to be wrong. So whether you want to mark things off as you go, or just be careful about it, take your time, do the count. So it ends up with there's 18 of them, 12 of them, and 7 of them. All right, so when we get the decimal, it comes out as 0.49, 0.32, and 0.19. Okay, now the point of doing that, we haven't done the sample yet, okay, but the point of doing that is once we've got the sample, the fraction of Kawasaki should be around about the half mark. Well, that's what we'd hope. The fraction of the sample, when we go and get it, for Yamaha should be around about 0.3, and this one maybe 0.2, 0.18, I don't know, somewhere around there. It's not going to be exact, but we want it to be in the ballpark. This is what we're aiming for. Okay, that's the best way to think of it. Once we've got this from the population, this kind of fraction is what we're aiming for in the sample. All right, so now let's talk about the sample. The paperwork for 12 jobs, so that's our sample, needs to be selected at random. The following have been randomly selected. Okay, so we've got 12 to 32. Okay, so these are the jobs that have been randomly picked. So what you do now is go, righto, number 12. What is number 12? You're up here. Well, there's 12. It's Yamaha. Number 2 is Kawasaki. Okay, and away you go. So you've got Yamaha, Suzuki, Yamaha, 2 Kawasaki's, Yamaha, Suzuki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki. Okay, so that's just picking them off this table here. Okay, so we've grabbed our sample. We've grabbed 12 of these and put them down here. And what we're really hoping is that this matches kind of this. Okay, so this is also the population, yeah, and now we've got the sample. All right, so what's going on? Okay, so we've got for each brand, right, so we've got for Kawasaki. Okay, well actually they're all going to be over 12, aren't they? Because that's how many's in the sample. Okay, we've got 12 in the sample. Do you count? Okay, there's 4 over 12, 5 over 12, and 3 over 12. That's what happened in the sample. And we just go along and do this. So it's 0.33, 0.42, and 0.25. Okay, So this is what's going on here. We've got the sample and we've got the population. Now, in a perfect world, these fractions here would be really close to these ones. It won't be exact. You'll never get it exact, but you want it close. And as we can see, it's a bit all over the shop. And that's okay, so far as answering the question is concerned. Okay, you haven't failed, you haven't done the question wrong if it ends up being like that. We've just got to talk about it. Is the sample appropriate? Okay, so first of all, it's not just a yes or no question. I mean, we're going to say no. Okay, but then you've got to give reasons. Okay, so you deal with each one. Okay, for Kawasaki, what's going on with Kawasaki? That's what we want it to be, and that's what it is in the sample. So there's not enough of them. It's actually underrepresented, okay, and that's what we write there, underrepresented. That is the buzzword you need to use, either under or overrepresented. What's going on with Yamaha? Okay, so again, that's what we want it to be like, but that's what it's actually like in the sample, so it's overrepresented. And lastly, for the Suzuki's, it's over as well, because that's, you might, now you could say it's overrepresented, but we want this to be about 0.2, maybe 0.1, 0.21 or something like that. Okay, but it's a little bit high. And it's overrepresented. But you could also get away, I think, if you said that Suzuki was okay. It was an okay part of the sample. Okay, it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a fudge factor to say how close they are, but you could get away with saying that they are pretty good. But you could also get away with saying that. Okay, in the exam, I'm not going to crucify you either way. But these ones are definitely losing the mark. There you go. That's how you do it. Essentially, all we're doing is checking to see, does the sample do a good job at all the subgroups? And by means of doing a good job, it means it has to be close. Won't be exact, but close to these. And that's all you do with random sampling. It's comparing fractions, decimal fractions. Okay? All right? Get amongst it.